In this video, we're going to talk about how a list control in a UX component can be configured to scroll horizontally rather than the default vertical direction. So if we run this list here in a browser now, we can see that the list appears over here and the list is laid out horizontally, and when I drag on the list, the list scrolls horizontally, and then since this list was set to paginate with a Fetch More button, you can see that the Fetch More button appears on the right edge of the list, and when I click the button then we go and get the next page of data. So in this case the pagination method had been set to fetch more, but we could also set the pagination method to AutoFetchMore, in which case the list would appear as though it were a infinite list or a continuous list. So let's go back to the builder now and look at how we set this up. So going to the list properties here, we see that on list properties we've specified that we have a freeform layout and that our freeform type is horizontal. The options are vertical, horizontal, and snaking. So we've chosen a horizontal list, and we've set the font size for the list template to be 12 point. Then the actual list layout itself, we've chosen the movie image PNG file, and then a new line, and then the ID of the image. So, and then finally on the data source, we can see that our data source is a SQL table, and that we've set our pagination method to 15 records per page, and then we've set the pagination method to fetch more. But if we were to go here and change the pagination method to AutoFetchMore, for example, and then go back and preview in the browser, we can see that as we start dragging horizontally on the list, that there'll be an AJAX callback when we get close to the end of the list, and we'll never actually see the end of the list until we get to the last physical record, because Alpha 5 will continue to make AJAX callbacks as necessary to go and get the additional data. So if we were to go here and turn on Firefox, so we can see the callbacks taking place. You can see now that when we get to the close to the end of the list there, we went and did a callback to go and get additional data. So here's our response where we're fetching the additional 15 rows of data. So if we continue now, let's close this response up and then continue. You can see that as we get closer to each time we get to the end of what's currently in memory, we're doing a callback to get additional data. So the list just continues to scroll until you get to the end. So the ability to configure a list control so that it scrolls both vertically or horizontally is a very powerful feature of the list control, and allows you to model many different types of application behaviors that you see in mobile applications. Thank you very much for watching.